Hello, everyone. Welcome. And Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends upon time zone. So, as usual, we are going to start. Now, I could see some of you are asking what happened, and happy Onam. And happy Onam to all of you. I think you had a fantastic time together today with your family. I believe all of the Malayalis are across the globe. Once again, we wish you a happy Onam. And we start the session today. Unfortunately, still on Onam Day, we are doing the program. So thank you so much, all of you, even those who are Onam celebration team and members as well, participating with us. And you have any issues? Many people are asking, what happened? Any issues there? You can hear me? Can you see me? Any issues? Please type it. Do you have any issues? You have any tech issues? Am I audible to you? No? Oh, yes. All of you can hear me? Just say hey, yes. If you can hear me, say yes. 1. You type it 1 if you can hear me. If you can see me, type 2. No? Oh, yes. Let me check it. 1 second. Yeah, so you can you see me? Yes. Give me 2 hours. I think you can see me and hear me. Okay, great. So thank you so much, all of you. Once again, I was worried why everybody said what happened. So I don't know. Okay. Thanks a lot, all of you guys, also participating this today's even in spite of the Onam, all of you are here. I'm glad that some of your name you're part of the Onam celebration still here. Thank you so much, all of you. We are going ahead the kind of a last day, because tomorrow the last day of the drop service. Tomorrow we are completely on a Q&A session where you can ask a customized question. Means if you are planning to do a drop service or you are recommending someone to start a drop service, about that particular thing you can ask the question. So today, by end of the session, we'll give you a form which you can give. So we do a research and give you the feedback about that is tomorrow's session. So in a way, we are going to finish today a major portion of the drop service. And day after tomorrow, today 48th day, tomorrow 49th, and 50 days. We are completing a 50 days of 100 days of challenge. And after tomorrow, so we have the day after tomorrow, we have something about a gig economy and GAFA. We are going to another interesting topic. We'll be moving to Wednesday onwards. Okay. So thank you so much once again, all of you, and please get settled in. And as usual, we'll take you by slide. And based on your request, especially the yesterday mastermind, someone requested that we need to have some more niche. I think some more niche actually I'll be explaining in the beginning. But I'm also talking to some of the niches who have a recurring businesses coming in. That also we'll discuss. Then we go to the fundamentals and the all other aspects a bit later on. Okay. So as I mentioned, so get settled in. So we'll start off with the slide PowerPoint presentations in a moment from now. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Once again, officially, I welcome all of you with the 48th day of Digital Mastery Challenge. Today, 31st of August, 2020, Monday. I'm live from Doha, Qatar. So now, when we start today talking about drop service mastery, that's the kind of a final day we'll be discussing today with various points in a continuation of the discussion we had. One of the continuation where immediately in the beginning part itself, we're finishing off. And the drop service, the most important part is the services which you provide to the people, right? So we'll finish off the services part at the beginning. One of the things, if you understand web programming and web technologies, is an amazing thing, is a niche and a very profitable niche, especially if you do split. So this today, most of the list which I'll be talking to you as you can split how to make more money. Yesterday we discussed a splitting part, right? So now, if you like or you understand about the technology aspect, of course, this is a good niche for you. And in that, many things, small and big, like if many people wanted to create a funnel, some people want to have a landing page, and people to record a businesses record nowadays with different landing pages for different campaigns. And some companies wanted a browser extension to create. And like you can see, all the large, big companies wanted these come up very often. And this is throwaway price actually get in the market when we say throwaway price in the third world countries. But in the developed world, it's a very expensive one. So as you know, that is, you can make a good profit on this aspect. Now, and when you look at explore the opportunities of this segment, you can see thousands of opportunities, not one or two kind of a work, more than 1,000 work only in the web technologies. So please focus on that if you like it. If you're part of it, you are a web designer or a web designer or web technologies, you like it, or you've done an MCA or a BCA, this really works for you. okay, this is a fantastic niche for you to start with. And there are so many services start from the marketplaces, $50, $100, where you can start with a $6 onwards. Even a mother price website or arbitrage website, you had approximately $5 onwards. I start with. Similarly, another service which is many of you that the day itself, talk to me about this or the niche you would like to go for. As you know, mobile application development and related mobile application integration to the mobile applications is one of the good services which you can offer. That you have an iOS and Android, you can have a separate, or you can have the same thing, and you can completely build a custom app, and you can also do consultation about. And even the existing app to improve. There are many people when they started up, using the mobile application, that companies think about improving of the mobile application. That's another work you can actually take it and provide to the people as a drop service. So there are so many things. One of the things, I remember in 2013, 14, there are many companies with 100 employees, 200 employees who are running business. There's only one work they were doing. They say, we are existing website, we'll convert to mobile optimized website or a mobile application. That's the only thing they were focusing. So there are so many people took that opportunity, and still this opportunity is last long. Most of the companies, especially because of COVID-19, they're really looking forward to have a kind of a web services or a mobile application services improved way. So most of the people wanted to create a mobile applications. So this is a good opportunity. And as I mentioned yesterday, you don't record sometime programming. You can have a multiple, you can have a drag and drop. Also, you can have. That's another opportunity on the mobile app development. In a cheaper version, some clients say, I just wanted to have a menu online, maybe a restaurant. I just don't want, even a payment I don't want. I just want a cash on delivery. So drag and drop method with very economically priced, we can give to a client maybe in a year, maybe around $500. That's kind of a thing in which they pay monthly, maybe $100. So kind of a pricing you can come out and promote. Those who are interested in this, according to me, you can make a good money. If there are a lot of continuously requirement of there is an app. It is okay. Now. Now you can also say as a good price you can get it. Even a mobile application development activities you can even get for $5 onwards. That's mobile normal website. People wanted to make it as a mobile optimized website. You can just $5. So that's a damn cheap price. And now you want to develop a technical as another thing, a desktop applications. So there are so many opportunities. Many people, many companies wanted a customized applications. That's another services which you can provide to the people. And as you know, this is a completely customized application. If you're a techie, this really excites you. So I'm just going quickly. This is on that niche can only work with the people who understand the technology. Otherwise, please don't take it. Okay. Now, cybersecurity and data protection. That every business owners can concern today. So many consulting opportunities there, and now compliance services to follow. All the things is actually many other people offer the service, and many companies wanted the service as well. Okay. Now, chatbots, many of the mobiles or a website people wanted to create. It's one of the easiest and cheapest thing which you can provide to the people nowadays. Okay. Now, data entry. Now we'll come to this. This part people require technological knowledge, and they should understand. And your processing also require little skill on about that. But so many people are ready to do simple work. I don't want to have a tough work. I just wanted to have a time. I need a little money. That's what exactly many other people wanted. They don't want to involve in a huge task. And they don't want to have pressure. And they don't want to have intellectually challenging stuff. Just simple work, you tell me, like a clerical job. There are so many people do that kind of work, right? And when you look at it, the processing is easy. People wanted a very less money, you share with them. If they'll be happy to get $100, $200 in a month, the freelancers for doing a data entry is good money that's some part of the world. So here, when you look at the data entry work in the market, it's a huge companies. They wanted many things to be converted in a different purposes. They say that this we want to extract this way. Like this, you get a lot of work that's be taken from different companies across the globe, where you will outsource and do that, and you get a easily much cheaper price in the market, because there are so many people wanted to do this, and they are like the real arbitrage work here. And this month they don't have any work, they definitely immediately take your work. That's a good thing about data entry, like a work. When you say data entry, not just a typing, there's a PDF to a different format to convert. They want to merge it. They want to identify only these kind of characters. Can you identify and make another sheet? So which is not technically possible, manual process is required. Or where they say similar, can you make a similar thing for your state or your country, your city? So that's another work, because they give a list of things. Can you make a similar list? So all the things, it's a good work on a data entry. This aspect that you get out. The another thing is a market research. This is again part of your split orders. Sometimes you're doing a support for us, markets, some set up a company. So you can also offer a market support, market research for the same service or products, where you make more money with that. Okay, so this is it's another opportunity where you can find different kind of informations, and you can really, some people really wanted to do. They say, we wanted to identify this. Can you do a survey? So you use maybe a Survey Monkey like platforms where you can do a survey. Same thing. Now you spend maybe $50, but you can make a good report and submit to the people based on a survey you received. Or you can use an outsource method, same method, an arbitrage method you can use here. Okay, now project management. That's one of the things, especially the small and medium businesses actually outsource. That's project management is good. And even the project management for various segments you have with us. You do a project management for all the segment, or you specialize in a segment, like maybe any general project, if you have a skill of project management, or you understand writing and translation, or a digital marketing, or a graphic designing, or video animation. All the things actually, it works well. Okay. And you can also have various kinds of tools, providing it as as a part of project management, finding out which are the tools you can do for the people to help it. That's also part of project management. You can bring it on. Okay. So you look at the project management as well. It's a huge opportunity there. And so especially the people who have an experience in the project management, or you work with the various projects, you'd understand. And there are a lot of applications available now in the market where you can easily do all these things as well. Okay. Now, next is actually career counseling. This is one of the things people get confused, and people have a lot of questions. What shall I do? Now, some will ask about it. Okay. Now, based on my experience or my expectation, what you can do. So many of the things people do coaching and mentoring. That's a good one, and we can help the people and collectively or maybe individual level. Then there are many people who can do interview preparation, guiding them, advising them, training them online. Sometimes taking a detail from them, which company you are going for interview. So you want to get prepared with a question. So you find out a question and give. So there are many people specialized in that. You can do that one. Okay. And sometimes people ask you, okay, I'm looking for a job. This is my resume. This is what I'm experienced. I'm looking for something like that. Can you do it for me? So on behalf of them, you submit a resume to various companies, various portals, and helping to get a job. This again, people don't have time to go through this process now, especially the people who are working professionals, but they want to change a job. So this another career counseling. This is a part people provide. Okay, so this again, it's a huge market, is there, and you get a lot many people do, and it's a small price you offer, and you get a more quantity. That's a good thing. But people are there to do. You can see that people do this work for $5, $25. It's a fantastic thing to do. Okay. Now, in that, there are so much of options and subcategories there. So this can be one good niche with hundreds of subcategories on it. Okay. Now, HR consulting. This is most of the companies nowadays outsource because like they're like a recruitment process, maybe organization structure development and employing. Many employees to be trained, conducted training to their employees. That one. And HR information systems going on compensation and benefit and plan, payrolls, etc. And performance management, everything, especially the performance management. Most of the company outsource these days because they have 5 grading system, 4 grading system to do this one. So this is another method where as a drop service we can provide. Okay. So it's a good niche. If you are an HR person or you understand this method, you can actually opt for this. Okay. Yeah. Now, another thing is little, consulting level point of view when you look at it is like a branding services. You provide a various branding like offer them, like we discussed about a corporate identity or a rebranding, on finding out the names and slogans, like we discussed yesterday. So that can be a service to the people. Then the business plan. We discussed about the business plan in one of the things, why, how important it is. We go to investors, you go to even you for you to start and understand the entire budgeting. So it's a tedious job. So that people do it for you with maybe $25, $50. That's an amazing thing. You give all the details, they'll prepare and give it to you. Same service, actually, business plan preparation, you can offer to the people. Anybody who's looking for start a business, they'll have their record of business plan. And those who are raising a capital, definitely they wanted to have a professionally designed and a kind of a business plan document to be ready. So definitely they invest on that as well. Okay, that's a good. Especially you can do you can specialize with the industry here. I do online business planning, or I do e-commerce business planning. So like that way, we can actually plan on it. Okay. Now we also have a financial consulting. This, as you know. People has an issue. People are not able to say, I'm making money, but I'm not able to save it, or my EMI, my credit card is sucking me. All the things is people usually say it to us, right? So this is again a good service. And one of the things, bookkeeping and valuation and optimization and personal finance and wealth management, portfolio management is again another niche where we can provide to the people. Even though it's not an IT thing, you can provide this one. Yeah. Okay. Now, business consulting. So this, especially for IBC opportunity, those who attended, you need to have their platform presence in various companies. You can provide various services. Coaching and mentoring you can offer, strategic management you can have, niche preparation you can do, investor presentation, marketing presentations, operational aspects, system preparations. And all the things is a part of a consulting you can provide, and it is it's a small and big. You get a continuous revenue as well. Okay, and even there are so much of things step by step how you make a career for your existing business. I mean, with the existing business, and your another career you wanted to change to another business. As a business consultant, how you make a strategy is also another. There's a good niche actually. Okay. Now, lead generation. When you look at many companies in the world today, they're working through a lead. Once they get a lead, they convert it, and this has become a big challenge with most of the companies. And they do invest a lot, and that's a big challenge. They think even they after investing, they may not be able to generate lead. That's the reason they depend on the companies who wanted to generate a lead. So I'm going to take you one day session called Leadsys. We'll discuss about how we get a lead. So lead generation is a huge market, and many companies, you say you give them a lead specifically. Now, I'll tell you the people who are ready to invest for a real estate in particular market. Real estate companies will be interested in, right? And you say the people are looking to buy your competitors completely style can get you. That's another lead. Okay, so different kinds of lead generation. People really like it, to do it. Okay, and you can specific country, location, or a target audience based on psychographics and demographics. You can get a lead. People love it. I know that's a good thing you can offer. Sorry about it. Okay. Now, fitness, listen. So this many people, on a daily basis, it's a virtual service. If you do, when you look at it, it's an amazing thing. People helping them to continuously take care, and it's a very cheap take care. People spend a lot of money for this one, but on an online personal trainer is a good concept now. They review, they give you advice, they remind you, and they completely do assessment, and even they teach them through this has actually become very popular during the lockdown. People started teaching them fitness, and people started teaching them yoga online. So this is a good niche now. People can start and provide it to us now. Now, personal stylist. This today the branding become important now. This personal stylist with so many, especially the working professionals or who are into corporate world, they look for this one now. So I have a series of meetings coming in, I got into a profession like this. So personal styling part, there are many professionals different part of the world offer this up. This is also a good niche, and you can charge a lot. The clients will pay you regularly. This is not one time. Complete, there is a good niche. People do wardrobe redesigning. So sometime people to completely to get into a new profession or new job or a new places you moved in, or someone new, new life is starting with a new partner. That's the time people change. Or sometime people lose a weight or gain a weight. They're completely, so to go through all the things, kind of a wardrobe part or a personal style is a good niche. So when you explore, you can see the people, the kind things that people buy it's a huge one. Okay. And you can't imagine, but you should have, you need to have an idea about this one, and people love it. Okay. This, if you can provide a good cheap, it's matching with your colors, matching with your color t-shirts, and these are the things, this kind of a dress, this kind of a, even people do make money with an affiliate program in addition to this one. So you offer the service, I say, I'll try to get you, okay, you're getting 7 days of a dress, I'll try to get you from, I'll get you the different variations. So then you go and buy from various other websites and give them a link, let him purchase, or they'll ask you to purchase as well. That's a two different method of that. If they ask, you get this link, even additional revenue come from there as well. So there are many people doing this is in a different way. Another thing is the cooking lessons. People teach them to do a new one. I know many of the people who really wanted to impress the people, especially when they have party. So they learn a special one, special secret one. So all of the things is doing very well. And when you look at Explore, that is, we can even imagine this kind of things works in a drop service. But when you look at the top 100 list, cooking lessons comes in that way. Then there are a few other things like craft lessons, and you teach the people to do this one, etc. So also, when unfortunately, this one we are not giving a paying attention, but these are coming in the top 100 niche who's making money. Okay, like a greeting card videos with customized messages, with customized branding part of offerings, another niche on it. Okay. Now, viral videos, and the people make a video for you, and they act in your video. They make a video. They'll become a model for your videos, and they do a testimonial for you, and celebration for you. Act as your office team members. All the things that so another thing. Okay. So these are the niche in overall. This actually I took a reference from, especially from Fiverr and Freelancer and Upwork, because which are the things they are doing well. So when you look at it as yesterday and today, more than 100 plus niche. I think it's more than 150 total I shared with you. So as I mentioned yesterday, my objective was you to choose a segment, you to choose a, so I believe you got an idea to go through yesterday and today, whatever we finished so far. Then you start with services in place. Then we'll go to the steps we'll discuss now. So that's the first step. Now, before you finalizing, you need to ask any questions. Tomorrow is a day for you ask a specific, you can ask the niche and the categories which you wanted in that. You can also ask the country you can target it, where you can process it. But actually, I request you to do that is today. We'll give you the link. You might have received an email. If not received today before the mastermind, you get the mail. And we require you to do today or by tomorrow morning, because I'll do a research and come back to you by end of the day. Okay. So we'll also tell you which company, which country you can process it, which country you can source it, which country you can be, get a client from. Okay. Now we'll go to the next part. There are a few drop services which give you everyone this revenue. That's what everybody, every business owner looking for. Instead of hunting again and again the client, which is such a short period, you wanted a client, plus that client pay you every month. This is a very good thing, one. So that is exactly the few niches, like an SEO. Search engine optimization is your niche. What happens is every month the merchants, the website owner pays you. And you come out of the monthly schemes. You say that I'll work on 101 SEO, and 6 months I complete, and every month you pay me. So what happens is within 6 months, the sites started ranking. They know they can invest further, and plus they have to do continuously SEO. Then only that remain in their website. They don't want to lose from the first page of Google. So that is the reason SEO is a recurring revenue and multiple revenue from one client. So for example, in a month, you get a 10 clients. 3 months time, you got a 30 clients. Every month, some client is paying around $500 to $1,000. You think about it, 30 clients is fine to make a good money. And you give them a good service and good customer support, and give them a value. So then you get a continuously promoting this one. Same thing like a digital marketing. As you know, digital marketing is a continuous activity. You get a monthly revenue with that. Okay. Then you have an email marketing. Many other companies outsource their email marketing activities. So you can do that. You say, I'll get a double opt-in or opt-in, and I do newsletters as well. So this, you can do that. And content writing, content writing part, again, regularly the blog update, email marketing, social media. This also we get a regular income. Then many of the people wanted to work for a company, 8 hours, 5 hours. Then you become a virtual assistant. There are so many companies uses virtual assistant for activities, and you can work with the company as a virtual assistant and get paid for it. The same thing, video editing. Every month, the videos coming in. As one companies, what are the video they produced? They wanted a regular editing part. Okay. Now, same thing like a part of SEO, but separate only for a backlink building the people are doing. That's also regular income method. So these are some niches you feel you want to have a regular income to get it. So I strongly recommend this to start with. And of course, yesterday I mentioned this point, e-commerce marketing is a shortcut. I really insist, if you really understand this is you can start the e-commerce marketing as well. Now, all the things, how do you find all these things? As I mentioned yesterday, there I give you a lot of sites, fewer 5 to 10 sites I give you already. Now I'll give you a few more sites where I would like you to go and understand the market. As we discussed, exploring the market is becoming important. So you should do this one. One is when you go to Flex Jobs. So, okay, you basically get a lot of part-time job there, and you can see the kinds of people offering the part-time job. You can do that. And Guru is another site you can go. Design Hilbert, you can do Design Aspect, and Skyward, and Dribble Hiring, and Envanto. Envanto, as you know, there's a website designing part. You get a lot of logo designing, landing page design. These are the things you can go to Envanto, Free App, 99 Designs, Toptal, and Freelancer. I'll give you Upwork, Simply Hired, People Per Hour, Quant, Crowded, Creative Groups, Next, Writer Access. All this website is the right place for you to go and understand the market. There's 2 reasons you to be here. Reason 1, as I mentioned yesterday, you become a buyer and understand the market. And when you register as a buyer there, and you will know that who are the people are coming and approach to you and what their price, and you can also see others gig. So when you say others gig, you can actually see their pricing, and you can also build a relationship with them. And the same service, you can do arbitrage with the other market, and not necessarily something you have to take in a mother website. Even you get a mother website, a good price, you can, the same person, you say, I saw you're offering $25 and you're doing yourself or you're outsourcing. I can get it done that for $5 for you. So because you're getting mother dollars, $1, you can sell for $5, he sell for $25. So win-win-win situation. So that can be there. So this I already spoke to Fiverr. Now, how you start selling. Now, yesterday, I think all of you, I told you about to go and start registering and buying package. You go and register seller as well, right? Now, when you start seller, so you need to be few things. This is the first step I would like you to do. And the same thing, this knowledge, why I'm doing this is for you is when you make a drop service website, so a lot of content is important. So if you can learn this with how the profile is happening in the market, so that is really helpful for you to do a website content as well. So for example, if you go to Fiverr, Fiverr, you create a gig. What's exactly gig? Gig economy, right? So in a gig, I'm not covering much today. The reason is day after tomorrow, when you talk about GAFA, I'm going to talk about gig. Now, just for a brief understanding what is gig, you heard about a gig economy, I believe. So what exactly gig economy? Gig economy, not like a traditional economy where people just employed and get paid for 8 hours. The gig is a word comes from basically a music industry. If not music industry, then musician. That many of the time the restaurant used to hire a musician. So they comes and sing for 2 hours. They get paid for 2 hours. So from that, the word come gig. So based on a project, that's the right word to define. Based on a project, it's get it. But it's a huge one. Okay, gig economy is a big talk of the. From an economic perspective, that's a huge shift is happening since 90s. And that time they predicted within 30 years, it had a huge impact. Actually, now 30 years approaching. It started in the 90s. Now, 2000 before, this the last 10 years is going to have a lot of change. So we ended to the 10 years. So that's the time, we are discussing about drop service. So gig economy is actually a big economy system where it's a lot of impact is happening because of gig economy. And I'm covering on a gig economy on a 50th day, 50. On a day after tomorrow, I'll be doing detail about gig economy and how the things got changed and how we can take an advantage of this thing we are covering. Now, for your understanding, what is a gig is basically what you offer to the people, what you can provide to the people as a project. Okay. So when you create this one, people hire you. One of the major reasons is your gig. Of course, after that, they'll also consider your pricing and your rate. This is two things are important part. So now, what you offer, here is the gig. You offer here, your gig is, I will design eye-catching flyers and posters for you. So it can be a gig. Now what you sell, it is very, very clearly written out. So it shows, entire details. So the buyer can take a decision. They want to take the service from you or not. Now, how to create a gig? So one of the things which is people recommend these days is having a video. Even your website, I would recommend to have, or YouTube should have a video recommend. Do this one. Now it's a video. It's basically, you can communicate much better, and people listen that maybe 1 minute video, 60 seconds video, 3 minutes video, a different one. But here is actually I recommend 30 seconds video. Will be easier for offering. Okay, and make us a different packages like a premium, standard, basic. So this there you say what are the facility you're offering, what are the features of your gig, what exactly I'm giving, and give them an option. Sometimes some people may not require to have an entire thing on a premium. They would just wanted to start a basic. But as a sales psychology, when you look at basic, standard, premium, usually in between one standard, people tend to purchase. So that's a sales psychology. Then when you discuss the conversion rate optimization part, we discuss this point. So if you're giving a service, so you need to have multiple package. You have a 5, second one is supposed to people buy. You have a 7, people buy third one. You have 9, people buy fifth one. So like that, different psychology is there. So we'll discuss about, depends on the products, it varies, but usually you have a premium and basic and standard. There's a high possibility people buy standard. Okay. So instead of 20, your price starting with 20, but you also have $35 product, you also 60 days, 60, so you need to strategize it that way. And it's a provider. And you also, you need to have completely an empathetic thinking, not how you offer a package. It is important you understand their requirement. Then you plan this one. So this planning is very important, that you are not able to do this one. You can take a help of a consultant. They create a strategy for you. And anyway, we will be discussing as the part of our campaign part, a conversion rate optimization, how you place your product in your website and how you help the people to take a decision to take your service. Now, when the person as a customer, I'm as a customer come here, I should be able to looking at the description and the packages and the price. So should I really wanted the summary report? Yeah, it's not there in the standard one. And should I take it? People should take a decision based on what they provide. Okay. Now you can also do upselling. I believe all of you know what's upselling. We discussed in the e-commerce time. Whenever a person buys something, you can actually do upselling. For example, when they buy, let's say you wanted to have set up a YouTube channel. Along with that, you say I'll give you 100 subscribers for you. Okay, so this can be an upsell for you. Now, you can also do custom offers based on a person who comes to your website, and based on his complete requirement, you can completely customize it and give them an offer. So he really happy about what he wanted. He was not paying unwanted thing, but he specifically is looking for also, he'll get. You can do this another option. So it's just basically you send to the person directly and they receive, and they process the order and do that one. Now, when you do gig, every profile, every website has a different policies. So you need to read and understand about it. And even here, one of the things, most important thing is the gig part is, and it should be short and clear and to the point. Don't talk about so much of story. You have a lot of experience. I worked in this company. I did this one, and I can do this. Not necessarily. People who are coming, they should understand. Okay, this is a brief and what you do. This is a part is important. Okay. Now you also do a kind of an on-page and off-page optimization for your gig. If you're putting in a platform, still within the platform there is algorithm works. Like you go to Fiverr platform, they have 100,000 people listing. To how do they decide to whom they show? So it's especially rating is important aspect, and your price is an important aspect. And so many aspects are there to show you in the homepage or in the feed page itself. Okay. Now you can also list out an entire category and subscription subcategory. As you know, when you choose a niche, you have a lot of categories, but the most important thing is you have to list out all the categories, and you need to think if this is required or not. And sometimes when the customer asks, that time you need to add again. Sometimes ask someone, hey, can you do this for me? Then you understand there's a requirement. You can add the subcategory as well. Now you can add the category, and again you can have a list to create on that. Now, complete scope and what exactly a person gets, you need to explain to them in detail what the offer they get this one, and what is the price for it, how much they pay with the package as we mentioned. It's put to the basic, standard, and premium price for it. So, and the entire thing you explain that one. Now, description of that is important, and before you're publishing, doing a proofreading, because the first impression about you. From the client perspective, important. Okay. Yeah. Now, description and putting in English if you are looking for a market. Now, Fiverr, I'm especially talking is to be in English now. Okay. And be clear about the gig purpose and the service product. So do not put a lot of content which you are not promised and giving, and do not put an elaborate, and people should not will not get an idea. Sometimes you elaborate so much that they'll go to another person, but they don't like you, the way you put it. So it's important to have a very brief, very powerful writing, and they should get impressed, and the observation should have a positive thing. Okay. You also avoid the external link from there, and even though you have a partnership, don't necessarily have to show there. You can do separately. Okay. And normally, most of the marketplace, including Fiverr, don't allow you to put your personal contact information. The platform itself, they'll ask you to contact and communicate each other. That's in an initial stage. But you remember that's the strategy we discussed. You can have a unique branding. So the person who really wanted to reach out to you offline, not from the platform, separately through your website or your social media, they can actually use that keywords. So they can find you in Google. So you use a unique, so they know to whom they are. And it should be a reflection of your website, should be for there as well. Okay. Now here is a media, uses various images, and videos to promote your profile part. Okay. And the same thing, your drop service also should be the reflection of the same thing. And use a clear one, that impression should not go bad. So make it a good because a drop service, the most important is trust. So make sure that you create that trust properly on it. Okay. Now you can upload the different photos and multiple photos, 2-3 photos ideal, not more than that according to me, but depends upon what your service provide. Okay. Now the videos people recommending around 75 seconds, 1 to 2 minutes is the maximum you can have. 70 seconds, 25 seconds is the most ideal part. Okay. And different format is a lot, so people can actually watch. Should be able to watch to make sure that is common one you use on it. Okay. You can also do video, thumbnail, etc. As part of YouTube mastery, we discussed this one. Okay. Now audio, you can do an audio as well. Sometimes you are giving a voiceover. So people want to do listen here, or you want to explain everything. That also can use an audio part. Okay. And you can also show the PDF file, marketing strategies, etc. They can download from there. Okay, that's another thing. So once all the thing you placed it there, now comes to the shipping of this process. So when it was the place in order, now sometime you may have to do something like you are doing a physically delivering. If you have some products like maybe something you are doing a cover design of the physical copy, and then giving it in a book, printed copy, or giving, sometimes you get a ghost writing. They say, okay, these are the topic I wanted. You give to me the final copy, then I want you to print that, give to me. So sometimes you have to physically deliver. Of course, you can charge the printing cost, etc. So Is it important to do this one? So as I mentioned, this gig, what are the services you are doing? It's very important to create and continue. Okay. Now where when you placing on a gig, especially on one example I'm taking as a Fiverr. Now everywhere you need to use the same, including a drop service website. Okay. Now drop service website, your major portion will be your content part. So once you create a profile in these kinds of website, it will be easy for you to handle that. Okay. So it is basically you go to dashboard and you start selling there. So put the entire profile, that a kind of about us page of your website, or here you put that your personal information and professional information, linked account and account security, everything you can keep it there. And they'll ask you so many details. Please fill that one properly, and then continue. Okay. And you can, as I mentioned, some of the platform or most of the platform, you can log in with Google or Facebook and Twitter. Okay. Now, once you're creating a link, as we discussed gig, make sure that there's good title and with all the category, subcategory you mentioned, and doing publishing on it. Okay. And especially the service type, and make sure that they can choose the combination on that. That's an important challenge. Sometimes we'll choose this one, they'll not be able to choose another one. So sometimes we will want it that way, a la carte method. So if you are allowing that, people should be able to take that. Okay, now, so if all this step by step, actually, I'm going to screenshot. If you have any difficulty, what you have to fill it up, you can actually fill it up and save and continue and put a scope and pricing and delivery timing and everything. You have to mention on that and show that how many revisions are allowed. So now you remember that when you receive a client's and you make sure that is where you process it is, they do the same. So if you offer 2 revisions and your client is where you're processing, they're only doing a 1 revision, so you'll have a problem. So if they're doing 3, you'd only maximum 3, sometimes 2. So review was one of the things now very, very important, as we discussed yesterday. And then show the price. And you can also have a strategy for extra money to make it. Now you say, I offer you the service for $10, but delivery is in 7 days. But you want an urgent base, additional $2. So that's one of the strategy people use for a pricing part. All the things you'll be able to understand, as I mentioned, if you go through all these platforms and explore the opportunity aspects. Okay. Now we'll go to the next part. Now, see, different packages, actually different delivery rate, you can fix it, because sometimes you have more features in another one. You can actually configure that way and save it and continue. Okay. Now, many people, so many questions people have. Every question, if you're planning to answer, will be a difficult. So that's the reason you put in a common FAQ there, around 10-15 questions, normally what people are asking, or some of the time, you believe that more number of questions coming about a particular topic, so you can actually add that into the FAQ, and you don't have to answer again and again. Okay, and briefly describe your gig and up to 1,200 characters. That's put it there, and what they ask, frequently asked question, as you mentioned, you keep it to videos on. Now this is an ongoing process, not necessarily one time you have to finish, but initially you have to think about when you offer a service, what are the things will be added. If you have this option should be FAQ, a separate menu in the e-commerce website, especially drop service website. I'll talk to you after the thing. Why this I want you to do this. All this question, if you have, you automatically have a content. One of the questions many people ask me about the baby websites, what are the features? I'll be covering that is little today. End of the session, we'll cover that one. Okay. Now, your requirements are important, and the requirements you do enter all the details, and every question answer you can question, write answer, and you have multiple answer, you can do multiple answer. You want to step by step, you can do ABC, you can also do that. You can click adding it. And of course, once you've done it, you can save and continue. And you can also have a gallery. So this is again a website has a store, and this I'm giving you can have an experience before you're making your website will be done for you. So this is a place you'll understand how the market, other competitors are doing, Obviously, you can actually look at them and you can apply a modeling. You don't have to copy paste. Same pattern you can choose and you can offer. So one thing, okay. Now you can also video, you can also audio, you can have different images to show. All the things can be part of your profile creation, and save and continue. And once you publish, so this is a process, and you're done. Now, why this is important for you? I would recommend minimum one website. I would like to do multiple websites, multiple platforms where you get a lot of opportunity to learn and understand what are the things they're talking and others talking. Obviously, you don't forget this step which I mentioned yesterday. Yesterday I mentioned this is you registering as a buyer and seller. Here is I'm talking now. You're putting as a seller, but when you go as a buyer itself, you'll be able to understand the kinds of services people provide and people taking it is, and I mean people providing and the work they're taking and processing in number of period and money and price and delivery time and features and how they present everything. So once that is our first knowledge about how you going to place it. Now this each platform profile, freelancer platform is completely different from this. I did not go on all the sites to go to the screenshot. It takes time, but actually almost same process because everything, it's a very user friendly. You can fill it up and go, fill it up and go, fill it up. That's what it designed. The most important part here is the complete understanding about the buyer's perspective. So it's basically, here is an empathy. That's the quality we should have. We have to think about buyer's process, not about you. It's not about you. It's about your buyer or that's your customer. It's always about the customer. Think about what exactly he'll be looking, and that way you have to customize the package. So that is an important thinking you should have. Okay. So based on that, you need to approach your drop service website. Now, as this, tomorrow I'll be taking a lot many questions on a website features, and for as many people I'll be asking. So help you now. How do drop service website look like? This is a profile, almost the same kind of a details are there, but structure is different. There you project as a company, not an individual. So a feeling they should get it. You are well organized. You have an about us page about the company you talk about, the project you are dealing with us, and your FAQ page is there, your address, contact numbers are there, payment gateway is there. Everything is well organized you can have. So you need to understand the person coming to your website. Your website should have a landing page. Not necessary, they have to come to the main page first. Tomorrow you have a campaign. Definitely people, people come to multiple purposes. So maybe they can come with a different landing page as well. So even it's just a landing page, through a landing page they come, or they have a store or what you can make it as a, depends on the niche you have, your store name or a portfolio page name or what you offer, etc. So you have a main menu and sub menus. Main menus majorly about like a corporate website or like a company's website. That's what exactly the idea, which is actually I mentioned this is in the day one when we discussed about it, but the context is basically part of a strategy, but it's actually strategies to be implemented, right? Strategies go into the action. So what you do is, of course, you'll have a domain name. So when you look at the stepwise, you go, think about the niche and the market. Now, based on your market, you need also to name it. So now looking for a Canadian and US market, I strongly recommend your website domain and the brand you use tells you in English words. Now, it's an important for a people to understand that is and its value. We think it's a small thing, but many of the word we will say argue that is not in English, but majority of the word depends upon the marketplace is there. So one of the reason for Orkut become obsolete. So the people went and studied, which actually Orkut and Facebook, there's some time they were together. But Orkut had a lot of opportunity, and I belong to the Orkut generation because that's the time when everybody says not much another platform to use it. So Orkut we were using. Now people can study conducted about Orkut. Why the Orkut become obsolete, but the Orkut become outdated, or data is not there now. I mean the company itself is not, the platform is not there. So one of the reasons they found is Orkut was not an English name. Orkut was a Portuguese name. Okay, so it is actually the audience, the consumer, like a Facebook, they don't accept it as. Okay, in fact, actually, when you look at it, Orkut has so many features. So those who are used Orkut, they will tell you, it's one amazing in that time. And there are many features which was there at that time. It's not there now even with other platforms. And Orkut generation, it's not called that. Okay. So that's the reason your target audience to communicating with your proper name for your drop service name, very important. And as I mentioned, this arbitrage business, the two types of people should trust you. One is your consumer. They should feel to pay you money. Okay. Then there's another thing. Now you're processing with other people. You're outsourcing this work. You're buying from there and selling another market, right? As we discussed. So that again, very, very important. You need to have a kind of integrity and a reputation, because then only things work with you. Plus, here is another platform. When you go, there is a kind of arbitrage method, or a kind of a escrow method is that you're on an independent platform. That's not there. You take money in advance, 100%. But sometimes the custom order, the buyer might negotiate. That's up to you to take a risk on it. As you know, once the payment collection is always a challenge for every company. So if he may not pay you, once you delivered in the products, you deliver. If he's not paying, so that's the reason I recommend go for 100% advance. Some cases you may have to be flexible, but you should have a double check the plan, how to do it is. And the payment gateway, your e-commerce payment gateway come with the credit card facility. You can also put into the subscription model. Subscription is every month is there to pay take money. That way you can have a what do you call that? Your subscription method, you can have that. Okay. Now, next one is once you have put a right domain name, and you need to look and feel of a website based on the niche. SEO site look different, e-commerce website look different, and other website look different. That's a portion. So right. So that's the reason that should be your niche decision is important before you go and set up the website. Now, once you decided that one, your menu comes up, and the menu should be your categories you offer. Yesterday we discussed about the various offers, various categories. In that category, you have to choose the category which one you do it as. Under the category, there's a sub categories. So under the category, what are the things you do? And each one, where you get this information, where you get this content, very easy. You go into the same thing with other platforms. Go to Fiverr.com, go to Freelancer.com, go to Upwork.com. All these companies has this kind of a gig is listed. So once you go on first time, if for your niche to list out the Fiverr, you get all these things. Okay, all the things that you will be able to understand. From there, you have to copy and paste and edit yourself. Sometimes you are not giving that service, don't add. Sometimes that's not there, but you feel it is important, which you can additionally provide, you can add. So pricing also should change, what the pricing you want to do. All these aspects you need to, need to add it. Okay, now you need to add to this, your homepage part. Now, when the people will come, according to your homepage, what are the things to see? Not necessarily all your service you kept in the homepage. So you can have a homepage where the major services you're offering, and then lead to another store package. Or you put a highlight of what you offer in a category. When they click it is that page, they go to the next page and put it. So get from the person to go there. Also you can get from a landing page and lead to this page. So it's not only homepage, through a landing page also, you can do that one. So when they click it, you should have a detailed elaboration of that. There you can have a video, you can have image, you can have a content, you can have a testimonials, and on the placing order, everything can be there. And payment gateway, and once you can give them automated message about when the delivery, etc. But so these informations you should have it before you start the website part. So this actually, my purpose here asking you to go to Fiverr. Many people asked me yesterday as well. If you are taking a mother website and we are marketing in US, why should we depend on a Fiverr? Good question. I did not ask you to depend on a Fiverr. I asked you to go and understand the market and what are the things they're doing and what are the content they have and what are the products they're offering, what are the price they're offering, and what are the procedures and how much is the delivery time, and how they use the ratings. That's more important for There have been so many people are already doing this one, so they can have a how do you say, the creative style they're putting this details. So you can have all these details. So I would like you to explore this opportunity and understand how the others done. Then you take it. Now, if you wanted to understand more about the features of the website, you go to admwebsitebuilder.com and then choose an e-commerce. Under the e-commerce, there is a service option. When you click on a service, you can see so many features of how to sell in a service through online. So that's important. And your website also should connect with your social media profiles. You also should have a kind of a maybe affiliate programs, or you need to have a reseller program, or you wanted to have a kind of a, what do you say, a sales inquiry generation. All the things can be as part of that one. Okay, you're put into your part of your website. So this is what is exactly you should do before you set up a website. Through profile, you do this one. Okay, I believe this is clarified. Many people ask me this, message me, email me this question about it. And anyway, one communication also come from my colleagues to clarify, even though I was thinking it is everybody went through that is, it is actually mentioned in the day one of the drop service part. What are the things in the site included? And if you wanted more details, go to admwebsitebuilder.com and all the things is mentioned there for a drop service website. Okay, now we go to the next part. How do you fulfill the order? So now you got a website, you got an order. So orders is 100% advance because they pay through credit card, through bank. And my recommendation, do not give a credit, and even 50% or 25%, no. Other one is better. However, some cases you may have to be flexible, so you should have a mechanism to collect the payment. And very important, that is, so you cannot get away with that accept. You need to do, because sometimes if you are strong, say that I cannot do, and so you may lose the client aspects as well. Okay, now, so how do we fulfill these orders? So once you get an order, how do you do it? Okay, your fulfilling order is actually, best is the customer support. They should be impressed, because some people are just coming and placing an order online and just giving you the blind faith and doing. So make sure that is you thank you automated message, then courtesy mail and good wordings and all the things to do. And you need to, how do we fulfill these orders? Now, first of all, the first and foremost and the big challenge here is actually told you about it, the expectations of the consumer. Make sure that is what he's expecting and what you communicate. And this you are going to outsource, right? So you need to know when you're outsourcing this is what you're doing. So you should know expectation of the consumer who are bought a website, products and services from you, and they paid you money. So what they're expecting, you need to have that clarity. So because maybe your gig statement or gig description, or maybe your promotion, people might misunderstand so many things. So they will assume. So once you deliver, this is not a thing you said, then you have to get into an argument. That's the reason the expectation you are setting up is very important to clarity on it. Okay. Now, then when you outsource it is, do not just blindly pass a project. That's very important. And you just need to discussion with the freelancers and understand his capacity and what he meant and what from the weddings. Now, as I always say to the people, we understand the image, we understand the service part as any communication through our imagination becomes, right? When you say apple, you think about apple picture, right? Now, it's not necessarily the same size of the apple which you're planning to give. You think a much bigger apple. So his expectation changed. So that's the reason you have to try to communicate what exactly you're offering and examples, reference and quantity and ecology, and the maybe features listed out, configuration listed out, and you also say what is not included, because which is sometimes they'll have an expectation it is already, for example, you're giving a website and you're not giving a domain. So that's a very usual practice in the market. So when you mention in the website what are the things included, you never mention domain name. But the consumer say, but obviously I'll expect a domain name with website. It's not obvious actually, because he does not have that market. Most of the website domain is separately bought and the design is separately done. And many of the people wanted a hosting details from the website designer. Not a website designer wanted these details from they said that the client. The basically client on the domain. Some cases website designers do. So it's not necessary. Not only that, it has a cost to you. For example, you are offering a web designing services for $100 and $12 to $14 it goes as a domain name. Now another expectation mismatch I'll tell you like this. Now sometimes say yourname.com will give. That's a good communication. Your own domain, it's not a good communication. So what is the difference? www.yourname.com will give you, so you know the .com internationally $14, but your own domain name, which is not $14. There are domain with $50, there are domain with $100, there are domain with $154. So you budgeted for $12 for a domain name or $50 for a domain name, including the registrations. It's become such a large part. So it's a very, very important offer. Mention this aspect very clearly in that in the briefing part. So when you pass out the freelancer, make sure that is they're giving you what exactly you wanted. And before you pass it on, you need to learn the requirement of the client. It's not just started, immediately get an order, you're excited, I would start working. No, you really understand what exactly the requirement and complete details about it. Okay. And then once you get this one requirement, not only from the client requirement list, you add your own write-up there to elaborating to the client requirement before you're passing out to your market partner. Whether you're taking from other website or any other website part. Okay, that's an important part. Okay, now next part is SEO. For this one within the platform or the website, I recommend strongly you do yourself the SEO. Why? Because you can actually really optimize your meta title, meta keyword, everything. And each project you are doing, each portfolio you're doing, you can actually highlight this one. Okay. And you can also do keyword research. If you're planning to do an SEO, definitely to be that one. Okay. And you come out with your titles, other things important. Okay. Now, each session or a subheading, it's an important to keep it on this one. Now, supply the resources needed. The people wanted many references, and there is a questionnaire sometimes that you have to ask the client. Especially you're offering a client a brand building services. So when you place an order to the outsourcing person, see, please understand here is a 3 process. One, a customer has a requirement and he's giving to you. Now that order, you're understanding about it, and then you are giving to the people. So when you're giving to the other person who's understanding and he start building it, then you go back to the buyer, and he saw something else. So all these places, there are different thought, the things. This is an important point. Your business challenges this. And what do you do for this one? That's the reason you need to ask back more questions from the consumers. That makes you think. For example, brand building, that example I'm about to tell you. Now I say, hey, I want a good corporate identity. Can you make a logo and that everything? So now the service asks, okay, what color you want? I said, you choose any color. Usually, you come out of there. That's what we say. You come out of a good logo. This is a bookstall, an example. Or this is a restaurant. This is a Chinese restaurant. Or a Lebanese restaurant. Okay, or this is an Arab restaurant. So there is an expertise. So people think about that, but we don't know what exactly the client thinking. What color he likes, what color he does not like it. And he has an idea about what kind of a domain, what kind of a logo you wanted, and or what kind of a design you wanted, everything. So that details, you can give them a question answer after he make the payment. Before making the payment, if you ask these questions, they may not give you the order itself. They think, oh, it's a lot of work. Okay. So you say, once you place an order, we'll ask you the requirement list to improve the quality. So you can send out these questions when he purchases and send the thank you mail. So we are about to start your process. So we would like to have this input from you. And you can even mention that in the gig, saying that is requirement list will send you separately. You can fill it up. So then they will submit and give it to you. Based on that, you need to be able to derive what exactly is looking and then come back. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, that's the quality of the service is always a subject of concern. But if you usual case 95-99%, maybe about one revision or two revision, it will be solved. So, but this step is your operational aspect, very, very important. So we discussed the marketing aspects. Now, once you get an order, this is a step you should be very careful. Now you can also have a process flow template, how the customers is looking post and how it is formatted, everything you can have that. Okay, and the majority of the issue you can solve. You have proper customer service, and any order comes instant communication and continuous communication until the product delivering a continuous communication. Even after the delivery, it will be good to ask, go back after 7 days, hey, everything okay? So that gives you a lot of things. And you can also send an invoice to the people to make the payment and generate an invoice and get the payment. So this also can be one method. Now, as I mentioned, it is even if it's a large client, you get a deposit or make the payment first. It's very important to get that one. Maybe you wanted to offer something 25% advance. Without any money, please don't start any work. Some work should be come to you. That's one. Okay. And you can get paid through Upwork and other things also. There is an option if you're doing it. Otherwise, you have your own payment gateway to do it. Okay. And you can also create a contract. It's very important. In your website, can have an e-contract. Or you feel it's a larger project, you wanted to have a legally protected, you feel it is separate agreement is required, actually you can do that as well. And it's important to have the contracts in place to avoid any kind of avoid dispute. Dispute will be there to avoid the loss, because it should work on your favor if you have everything properly documented. Once you are done this one, your work is started, and make that updating the customer to the progress is important. Okay, so that's where your process works, and you go back and deliver and you get it. Now, this, like any other business which we mentioned, it is so same business process. Is kind of only thing is you get a service with an arbitrage. So that's only difference, but entire business part is what we discussed is applicable here as well. So decision-making process of a consumer, which we discussed earlier, like observation, information, clarification, decision, conviction, and commitment. I think especially the Mendes got this, and the Menji is yet to go, but our part of our campaign will be covering this one. So this step is, there's a 6 steps of a decision-making process. This is very important for you to get back a client again and again. So your first impression, never lose it. And the place is placing an order. Even the acknowledgement is very important. That's it's a lacking. It's the big issue. So once you receive the payment automatic message, after that again you confirm that it's reflecting our account. Thank you. What's your order? And give me this input, etc. And even after delivery, sometimes you say they take around 1 month to deliver. That's okay. He might have agreed. Then you think 1 month is not over. Weekly updating a progress by email with an automated message, automated mail is a good idea. So that like any other business, we should not miss on that part. Now, all the business setup, the payment gateway, everything is set up. Then you are here to go. Now, I'm going to summarize what are the discussions we had, and we are going to discuss about now how we're going to become successful in this. So here are the question. Roadmap. I'm going to step by step. I'm going to explain to successful drop service business. So we need to define the success here. So what do you mean by success here? So drop service business, how can I run a successful? So success again is a subjective, right? So now I'm going to give you a roadmap. This is my perspective here is actually the people here is making a money, successfully getting a continuous money. I mean, with the recurring revenue. That's what exactly I highlighted and recommended. Now I'm talking about mostly now my mind is completely on a championship. So what my belief about championship is, I tell you, this kinds of business model everybody believe in, but very less people implement it. Once we get, because now we prioritize. It's not that people are lazy, and they prioritize because they already have another job or a business, and that just gave me the survival. So this is an additional income. It's a part-time or maybe a full-time business, depends upon the person to come in. Generally, this is an issue. So what happens is, in this, sometimes we may not do the real effort to succeed here. So that's the reason here. What I'm going to suggest you. You may be a 2 to 3 hours a day you spend on a drop service business to run and make money. So I'm looking for everyone to make $100 per day, $3,000. That's our championship tagline, right? And drop service, as I mentioned, it is very easy, faster you can achieve. For me, the first success is you participate in that, you make this money. Okay. Second one is you continue this business maybe 2-3 years time minimum, because we don't know after 3-5 years how the business works on. So 2-3 years time you work on it and do it, run it. And I'm looking for you to make a recurring revenue. For example, if you start an SEO, you start in a social media, or you start anything on digital marketing or a content writing, which I mentioned, you get a regular client, right? So when you get a regular client, you have a good profit also to make it. So it's important to have this understanding how you do it. Okay, so that's what is my expectations, what I am looking forward. Now you need to define what is your success. Now you may be thinking, I want to make a little extra money. Let me start at this one. Okay, it's good. It is very much possible, as you know, like any other opportunity which we decided, this is a faster, easier, better. Now you wanted to grow as an IT company. If you wanted to start a kind of a digital marketing company, or you want to start an IT company or outsourcing company or a BPO, all the things is, this is also a good opportunity for you to have it. Okay. Now, based on that expectation, you need to set your goal that we are going to discuss about the VM course, so successful aspect. So that's the reason I'm going to tell you success is defined. So my mind is set, what I'm defining here. But actually, I'll be happy some of you take up this opportunity in a very serious level and set up a company and take an offer continuously. And you also know internally, I mentioned to you this point, whether I like it or not, all of you are going to have a website, and any kinds of website. Everybody has a requirement coming in. Online shopping mall alone, there is a lot of requirements coming in. I'll be more than happy you are taking that work instead of someone else. I can say at least, okay, the people I went through the consulting or the part of 100 days of digital mastery challenge they're doing. So that is more good for me than someone else is doing. So I'm looking for that aspects when you say to become a successful part. So that's where I'm going to use the word here as a successful. So you follow this step. So what is step number one? First of all, try to understand drop service business models. So drop service, when you Google it, you find out so many different things. That's not a thing which we spoke about. Somebody Google it, they're not talking about arbitrage. They're not talking about, of course, arbitrage they're talking, but they're not talking arbitrage strategy. They're not talking about mother-child strategy. They're asking us to different line, right? So it's for you to understand very important that the business model and how it works, and the modeling principle, if you're applying, how you apply a modeling principle. And if you don't know what is modeling principle, go and listen to day 1 and 2. We discussed the modeling principle. So that's a first step, doing a business model, and how the revenue model works, how the process model work, everything. So that's, you make sure that you tick mark, you say yes mark, or a positive mark once you are sure about what the business model I'm talking about. And you're going to start it. What are the actors? What is actors? What are involved in this business? That's called actors, right? So you are here, you're a client. And are you doing alone or with your partner or a spouse or your team members? That's one. Then, are you planning to outsource? Then if it is outsourcing, what are the people you're doing a full part-time employment or a project-based one? What are they? Now you're splitting. You're going to split it. Your payment gateway people involved, and your delivery. So all these people are involved with you, right? So make sure that is all the actors you defined, your revenue model you defined, your expenditure defined, and how you make a profit, with whom you make it, your clients you're defining, etc. Okay. Once then, you need to understand the strategies. So here we have discussed 28, 29, 30, and 31. 31 with I did not make as a 32 as the split as a one strategy, because we have 100 strategies. Unless it's a very value, I don't really put the numbers. So I told you about split is a strategy. Split is a part of the 32 itself. You take it. You don't want to take it. Sorry, 31 itself. I'm not making as a 32 it is. So basically, all the process you process this even through splitting. This is multiple companies. You give an offer, order, and do it. Okay. So the strategies you should be able to understand the mother and the child, where the ask is the process. Please make sure that is you understood ask and how you choose the response you receive. You know that when you go and ask, the quote unquote ask, okay, ask to your vendors in the mother website, based on their situation, they are going to offer you a different pricing. And their situation, we really don't know in most of the aspects. Most of the aspects is, for example, some of the part of the world, because of the season, they have a good price. Sometimes there's not a season or a tight schedule, they have more price. So that's one way. Second one is sometimes the weather condition. Some part of the world, because of the winter or because of the monsoon, things won't work. So some people will give you good pricing because they don't have a traditional business, they take it. So these are kind of a situation. So how do you get the good price from the ask? Second one is maybe because that's personal. We don't know what they're going through. They need some cash flow immediately, or they wanted to, they have employees sitting idle, or they are not getting any business, or they want short tractions. They want something to happen. Or depends upon the situation of the companies. You get a price as well. Okay. Now, so this strategy, going asking mother trust is important, and you also are the strategies going and getting the business from the platform or prospecting the customer from the platform is also a strategy, right? Sometimes you might hire a people and set up as a team. That can be a strategy. For example, you sign up a contract with a company. It's a 1-year time, and every month you are getting work. And when you calculated that, you found that if this kind of order is coming, why can't I start? Why can't I, start a small company? So make sure that you get money in advance, because once you're starting, you are putting a liability on you on your recurring investment. So, but it's set up a team for you if you want to do. Or you can also take a company, so I already have a team, and do a partnership. Not just giving us a client. You say that I also want to, something. So I'm talking on a large scale if you do. So this is the second step, you should do it. Okay. Now, the strategies, don't forget 29 traditional strategy. That's a first fundamental understanding. If you don't understand this, the 30th is difficult, as you know, right? So the automated one, you need to understand the ask and how you get the price and that process, and the cheapest one comes up, and the parameters, there's 2 parameters are the right price and the delivery time. And if you're concerned about the quality, you can also do for a review aspect on it. Then you also go to 31 with the perceived value. This is yesterday we discussed about it. So perceived value, that's exactly the key of the drop service business. I believe all of you understood the perceived value. So this perceived value play a major role for you to get a good client and good profit. So huge profit you can make it if you can come out with a good perceived value aspects on it. Okay. Now, this in that sub I told you about the splitting is a part of the strategy on it. So please listen again on day 46, which we discussed about all this aspect, and you have all this idea to get. Okay. Now this is an important step. So exploring the market. When you say exploring the market, so one is overall you already have a vague idea how the countries work, and the economy part. So everybody already have it. But each segment, each each industry, how it works in a different part of the world and how much money they're paying, that you should know. Otherwise, there's no meaning you're blindly offering. So many people are, okay, US fellow is going to give you. Some cases, they don't pay for certain services. Some cases, they pay more for their services. So you need to have a clarity on that aspects. Okay. Now, if I take an example, some part of I told you an example of an SEO. That's a perfect example. Now, when you go to Australian market, or maybe a Hong Kong market, or maybe a higher economy market like a Qatar market or a Kuwait market or a Singapore market, website they don't pay monthly for SEO. But US and Canada, they pay monthly for a year. So now you're offering a monthly package to an Australian or to a Chinese or into a Qatari or maybe into maybe a UAE market or a Malaysian market. That market is basically one package market, package pricing. You say, what's your package? Is your 101, what's your plan? But in US, it is just opposite. That is not a package. It is monthly what you do and what are the services you provide and what is the outcome you can promise, and this is the price of monthly. And they don't mind giving you a credit card and putting in a system, and every month you're taking a $500, $600 for the services you use, like any other SaaS model. So these understanding about your market is very important. And this you have to explore. There is no other option. And thanks to the technology, everything is available. And you go and to join the groups, discussions, watch YouTube, and read about it. You also join in the forum and act as one of them. What are the things they're communicating, how it's working. That's very, very important for you to have. This market knowledge, please do not neglect. If you it's like if you don't know the market, you will lose so many things. Your game is like chess. If you're playing, if you're playing a chess, and you actually usually think 5 steps ahead, right? So the market you should know. You know the market. You have to think about how the market. Then if I get a client, I can offer further again. So it's like that. You need to think about you've got one client from New York or Los Angeles or California. You need to know how you can additionally do that one, because getting a client is important. Once you get a client, what that client is enough for you continuously getting a revenue. There are many companies become bigger companies because of one client or 2 clients. Now, that maybe started with the small projects. In my experience, I'll tell you, one company I got just less than around $400 price, a small project. And from that project, we got a continuous project, approximately $500,000 worth. Even that it was a publicly listed, the public government company. It's what you call it, the government company, but they have usually they have to use a kind of a protocol is there, but it's a small split. It is in over a period of 2 years of period they placed it. So you never know what kind of a client you are in relationship, what kind of a work they are doing it is, right? Now, how do I say? That's what is you to understand. That somebody is doing an e-commerce, and just a startup e-commerce site. You're getting an SEO work. You know that they are going to do social media as well. They also under social media influencer arrangement. Even though your focus is SEO, they know this understanding, right? And plus, that they're working on which keyword, and tomorrow they wanted to have money making on it. So all that, not just a copy paste is requirement and do. So think about it. So it's an individually how that kind of and geographical location, how that market works on it. And if you don't have that market knowledge, this is completely you're taking an assumption, completely kind of a gambling. That's not a good idea for a drop service. So that's the reason you need to explore the market, understand how it works, and how we understand it is you go to that country, so Google it, and for example, you are doing a graphic designing work, or you're planning to do health tips. So you go and check it at the local website, how that is working there, and how they're providing it is, and that makes a huge change in your thought process, and even understanding the pricing, understanding the delivery mechanism, and their expectations, and their standard, their quality, and what you improving your product's quality, product features in that, adding that and providing it is, and also offering a subscription. It's a model, okay, or a subscription model, or maybe, for example, if you want to go to subscription model, so many of the country can offer that subscription model. And again, that's as I mentioned to you, sometimes some of the things you should be careful by doing an understanding on it. Then the best example when we discuss the downloadable products, which we discussed this morning. Same thing I repeat here for if you are offering something to Brazil, India, like a market, there is a 30 to 40% of the people will decline their credit card. So especially in a drop service, you cannot even take back the services. So you should be more careful offering some to an Indian market or a Brazilian market, the products. and the least declining of the thing, or a refund happening, or a return policy happening in Japan, less than 5%. So you also, this kind of knowledge also important to explore. Please don't neglect this option. I'm telling you once again, it's very important to have this understanding and vision and a broader understanding about your market. Now you also go to the freelance websites, like we discussed. Like I give you today, also I give you another 10, 15 site list. Other day I give you 7 list. So go to the 2025 website and explore the opportunities and understand about the gig listed, everything. I think I given that one. After this, you choose the target market. So don't choose the target market first. You enter the market and the entire idea. Then you come to what is the service people already offering. Then you mix and match here. You choose the target market from Canada. I'm looking for e-commerce companies in Canada. Or you say, I'm looking for fitness companies in US. Or I'm looking for hospitals in this aspect for Latin American countries. Something like that, you need to specifically look at this market you want it. So that's a company you should be focusing and choose that market and look at that industry has a potential to pay. The industry has a revenue to share, and that this growing industry or not, and what the price they're getting. Like so many things you need to think about. Then choose the market. So this is a very, very important step for you to take a decision on it. Okay. So I recommended the market for you in the geographically US, Canada, Australia, UK, and European Union. This is the best market, good money, and the client pay a good amount, and you get a continuous payment. Except Australia, they're recurring and it's very good. Of course, Australia also you can work on, but I'm saying in general, not like a US other stuff. No, many other market part. Now, the most important part here is in this part, what kind of industry focus? This all are $1 trillion industry, $1 trillion economies. You have a huge market to capture it, and all these countries has a good wages, very high, and you can have your profit margin can also the more. But this is a market you go and explore whichever the niche you wanted to go, how it is currently working. That's one. Secondly, you go to the marketing platforms or a freelance platform and understand what they offer. Even to the client review you read, check how many clients from that particular country is buying this. This is also an important information, right? So this is a very important step for you to have it on. Okay. After that, you choose a niche. So once you choose the market and the category, you want to do SEO, you want to do digital marketing, you want to do graphic designing, you want to make a website, you want to make a architecture thing. So in that, what is the niche you choose? So not the other way. Many other people earlier, which I used to say, that choosing the niche to different steps, right? But here I'm talking in a different level because it's a drop service. Here it's not a product. Complete process is different. So then you choose a niche, that niche matching with this one, and profitable making. And if you can understand, you can deal with it, and less dispute possibilities, all the things you think about it, then choose the niche. Then you choose your market for processing. So now you choose a country from US or a Canada or a European Union. You're taking a work for particular industry, and this is a niche. So you're using a graphic designing, or let's say you're writing ghost writing. So ghost writing you're doing for one Canadian company or a Canadian people or publishing companies or publishing companies, outsource companies. So there are writing things here are a huge opportunity. Then you know what the price you're charging on the specialty there. Then you choose this from where you process. Whether you're in UAE or a Qatar or you're in UK or maybe in Singapore, not necessarily you have to process from that place, right? So you choose the processing place, which I recommended you, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, and Burma, Myanmar or Sri Lanka, or Kazakhstan, Pakistan, African countries, and Latin American, Venezuela, Cuba, all these places you can actually choose to this one. So as I mentioned, I really recommend South Asian countries if you are going for a technical thing, like web designing, web development, software designing, video making, and social media. All the things in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Kazakhstan, Nepal. Same like in African countries, also equally good with the pricing part, and like in Nigeria and or maybe Ghana. So also give you good pricing. And Botswana, you get a good price from there, and many other, especially in Nigeria, you get a exactly like website part. You get a good web developers from the Nigerian market. Now, of course, you can also look at Southeast Asian countries like Philippines, Indonesia, Cambodia. This also you can process the place. Now, after this, which we discussed today about the setting of the websites, now website, today I think I'm going to spend a maximum time on that one, to how you identify your website content and the product services you're keeping. So then you go on to fix the website part. Now, of course, like any other thing in a branding part, as we discussed, you need to have a good domain and good branding, because people should look and trust you, and people should feel you can provide a delivery, quality delivery. They have a professional approach for you. Okay. So never forget the steps which we always say: the strategy, organization, technology. Any business, here is a drop service. It's a very, very important. Whatever we discussed with the kind of strategies and technologies and organizations you want. And of course, the social media in the marketing aspect, we are not covered here, because marketing aspect, as you know, after 50 days, majority of the time we are going to do for a marketing aspects. Okay. So that's the time. Of course, drop service model. Every strategy when we discuss, I will also recommending with this. This is also recommended for the affiliate program. This is recommended for drop service. This is recommended for e-commerce. Like that, we will be mentioning it. So that's in a marketing approach. We did not discuss much. But the market, we already discussed now which market you go and identify and reach out to Google. Indirectly, I mentioned it is a couple of times. It is email marketing is more, and social media marketing and reaching out to the LinkedIn to the clients is easier and faster and cheaper market. So that's one exactly we should be focusing on. Now, with this, I would recommend you to be part of our championship program. So the championship is actually now only 50 days away. So you can be part of it. And drop service, when in when we are different rank, it's $100 qualification. Not only that one I'm talking about. People, you want to be the top earner, the top first one, second, third, fourth. We have a special category. If you wanted to reach that, I think drop service, as you know, that's the easiest shortcut, because a huge margin, huge billing you can have, and you can have in a short period you get orders. Last year, when many of the ASEAN online business developed in 3 to 6 months time, this is 2-3 months time. You can have this one, and it's faster. And plus, as I mentioned, internally also we have a lot of projects now. Everybody who's taken a part of this, approximately 100 business owners already there with us now. It's part of the 100 days digital mastery program. These 100 people also record so many services. If you start on anything in e-commerce, anything in SEO, anything in digital marketing, anything in social media, anything in email marketing, anything on a graphical designing, even within domestically or internally itself, you get these orders. So it's easy for you to be part of a championship program to do this one. Okay. Now, this 100 days challenge, it is championship in your mind. And I mentioned it is not necessary you have to limit with $100 on the dropship service. When I spoke about the videos and I spoke to affiliate, I spoke to highlight 100. But here is a drop service which I am highlighting. It is much more than, if you want to be a $1,000 champion or $500 champion, $350 champion, you can have this one. Okay. So with this, I'll end the Q&A. Tomorrow we have a complete exclusive Q&A. Only for a drop service, where weekly Q&A, we'll keep it as we decided to have a Thursdays or other days that we do definitely. But this drop service, what the decision, because your site we are start making up next week onwards. So unless all the steps you're completing, the market, your niche, your category, your domain, your website, and your website cannot be built. So we are looking for building a website next week onwards. Those, especially those who are starting with a premium membership with us. So you get a free website, right? All of you know the offer. I think many of the people requested it just because the vacation, today the weekend is very part of the world. I collab with the festival. So we'll extend you maybe tomorrow, because tomorrow you are asking a question. You want to take a decision as for that, we'll extend you maybe till Wednesday. We'll send you an official mail, don't worry. I know there are so many people reach out and say that if they want it up to second and third, we will send you an email tomorrow. It's extended till third. You can take it that way. Third, 2 o'clock or something, you can give these details. Now, for you to take the decision, what are the things you wanted to specifically, you can actually, I'll ask my colleagues to give you the link now itself. You can ask them to type it and give you this link. Through the link, you can take the questions. So send us this by tomorrow morning itself, maximum. So then we can work on it as the answers. We can try to give you kind of a research and give you an exact answers for it and your market, your products, and everything. Okay, so fine. So I'll ask my colleagues to give you the link now, and you can fill it up. And you also receive the mail today, and you can fill it up by tomorrow morning. And tomorrow we will take the questions on that. Okay, so this is one thing all of you should do, and not just normal general Q&A we do. I checked that this is actually for you to start at this now. If you are not starting with AOBB, if you are starting with zero investment, as I mentioned, how to say, if you have zero investment, already the information already gave to you. Step one, as a seller, you can already create an account, right? It's a free. There's no money to be paid. So you can set up that one. Even that to set up, you can ask a niche informations. That to set up, you wanted to have a market information and pricing information, process information, all the thing you can actually have that one. So it's important part as you can create it there. Hope you got this idea, right? The question answer. So tomorrow I'll be taking all that questions and we'll be answering on it. Then day after tomorrow, our 50th day. Again, actually, I'm covering little about the gig economy. I'll be discussing about, and so I recommend all of you to strongly, even that day, attend that way. That day there is a different 50 different opportunities with the GAFA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Alibaba who can offer. That we'll be discussing. In that also a kind of a drop service thing is we'll be discussing. So basically, in a way, it's not ending tomorrow because it's also continued with that, because that day we're talking about gig economy. Today I just covered what is gig. I just mentioned it is what is gig. But the gig economy is a big talk now, but so we should be part of the gig economy, and we understand how the gig economy works, and it's a huge opportunities there with the gig economy, and people got changed. So which I'll explain to you on a Wednesday detail. So I want you to go back to the recordings or the notes of last 3 days and put that questions, and for you to take a decision. Absolutely, and not like other questions I even used to take a live, because actually I don't want to just give an answer, which is me and my team will go back to the research and come back to you on what the market price. So we wanted about that questions at least around 8 hours before. That is tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. of the Qatar time. If you can give us, it's a great. That's the reason. We'll send you the mail today itself, so you can have a link, and you can fill it up, and the Google form will come to you. You fill it up. Okay. So thank you so much, all of you, once again. And a couple of minutes from now, I'll join you in the mastermind crew, and we take a few major questions there, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much. Those who are joining the mastermind, I'll see you in a couple of minutes from now. Thank you so much.